что будет интересно для всех и в профессиональном, и в личном плане узнать о том, каково это быть мексиканцем в России и каково это быть членом международного российско-латиноамериканского бизнеса, семьи, ну и, в общем, в конце концов, скажем так, международных отношений в этой части. Вот. Я буду завершать, наверное, мое вступительное слово. Всех прошу напрячь свои англоговорящие извилины. У нас также сегодня тест немножко на английский, но если будет необходимость, я думаю, что Таня или кто-то из нас помогут какие-то моменты прояснить. Ну и, в общем, прошу любить и жаловать.
It's okay? Yeah? Okay. So nice to see you, and thank you so much for the welcome speech, Victor. It's always nice to be here at team with our friends. And last time here you see some faces that I can recognize. I don't know your names, I'm sorry, but I feel really warm with this introduction. So the main goal of this presentation is to give just a brief introduction of what we are doing here in Russia, and also with the collaboration with our partners in Mexico. Specifically, we are looking forward to create this bridge of cooperation between these regions, Latin America and Eurasia. So today we are 3 persons that we will just give our speech, very brief, and 40 minutes. We will try to do this goal. So Daniel Lopez, he is our partner. He is an intelligence business person that is working in Mexico City. He has more than 10 years working in different kind of projects of development in royalty, also in different kind of cooperations with the US and also different other countries. And his experience as being part of the team at Tec de Monterrey, he was in charge of creating this document for those people who are working in the clusters. So the clusters as a main goal is to introduce the collaboration of enterprises, governments, universities, and society. And he, with the help of his partner, Leonel Guerra, create this document to help other companies of what to do and to follow a methodology of how to better do the supply of clusters. Tatiana Lisina, he is also part of the Latam Eurasia team. She is in charge of the operations direction. And her experience, she has more than 10 years working both in private and public sectors. And she has also been working in Mexico in the logistics platform, working with the customs and with some friends that we have there, mostly in Mexico and US. And currently she's now working with some companies from Spain, Italy, and Latin America for the internationalization process of what they are doing. And well, by myself, my main field of expertise is being in the business strategy. So I work closely with companies of how better to do the internationalization process, both here in Russia or in Latin America. So we continue for the next slide. We will just want to answer a question that Evgenia told me. What are you doing here, right? Why Russia? So why not go into US if you can just cross the river in Mexico and go to US? Well, Russia, yes. Tatiana was really a key point, because meeting her, it was the first contact to Russia. This breaking the stereotypes of just vodka, bears, cold, and people that is always aggressive. No. So she was explaining me that it's more about Russia. So after 5 years of being in Mexico, we decided to come to St. Petersburg. I applied for my master's degree in SVGU in international relations. And then I continue my academic experience. Now I'm doing my second year of my PhD in management. And at the same time, we are working with our two partners, one in Moscow and one in Ekaterinburg, to specifically to focus in 3 sectors that we understand that Russia is investing or is growing as one of the powers in this region. That is technology, that is aerospace technology, and also energetics. So with this, we can continue to the next, please. We are developing, we're trying to develop the insights of people from Latin America, how to understand the Russian perspective. Being involved in different disciplines with my partners in the aerospace, in the IT, and us in the international relations, we can maybe give some different perspective, how to better understand the view of Latin Americans that they want to know more about Russia, and a little bit understand also the Russian perspective in how to use these growing sectors that are pushing in these fields. For example, now we are working in the internationalization of software platforms from European companies going to Latin America, specifically in the agribusiness. Also, we are having contacts with universities and scientific organizations. Why? Because we believe that a really key point of this is trust. If you have trust in the projects that you're working, if you have certifications, if you have the people who is working with you that is recognized, and they have even the business and the science experience, would be great if you can continue growing in this side. So if we continue, please, the next slide. We believe that in this collaboration of different fields, we need to understand where are you living. So 5 years, I really feel bad because my русский очень плохо, я говорю очень плохо, как small child. Немного понимаю, I can understand a little bit, but 5 years being here, I need to talk better Russian. So it's one lack of myself, a criticism that I'm doing by myself. I need to talk Russian. But we understand a little bit better the political system that still needs to be developed a little bit more. Russia as an emerging market, maybe transparency. We can talk more about this in other meeting. But numbers are saying that Russia is becoming more transparent, that digitalization that is doing in specific regions, for example, Moscow, St. Petersburg, Kazan, they are given the digitalization for make it more transparent and access the information. And the economy, despite the COVID that we have already suffering, that this surplus that before we were having in the economic sector, right now the government is giving support to specific projects in innovation and science. Most of them is we are focusing in this side, and understanding the social perspective, how these both aspects, economic and politics, how people think about what they are, how they are believing, if they are having more income to their wallets or not. Still, it's a little bit for maybe other meetings, maybe with one coffee or something, but numbers again. They are saying that there is an increasing online behavior of consumers in Russia, of millennials, of people who want to know more from the outside, and also here to consume the local products. And still also understanding that Russia is the largest economy in the Eastern Europe, there's a lot of opportunities here in Russia. And the technological perspective, to just conclude my part, is that Moscow, St. Petersburg, Kazan, are leading cities adjoining all this. So there is a huge perspective for growing for the next years. And to increase the cooperation between these regions is really important, because in Mexico, we have some similarities that we can share with these cities. And I would like to give the floor to Daniel, to my partner that is in Mexico City, so we will continue with this.
I think that we are ready, if you can hear me and see me.
Perfect.
I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, well, good afternoon to you all. A warm regard from Mexico. My name is Daniel Lopez, and I have been working the last 15 years on business intelligence and strategy. And this morning, I'm going to talk about what are the reasons that makes Mexico attractive to investments, especially for Russia. So please, can you go to next slide? The other one. Another, please. Okay, one before this one, please. Okay, well, first of all, I want to talk about business environment here in Mexico. And okay, the big question here is Mexico is a good country to invest in? And to answer this question, I just want to tap in two main aspects. The first one is that the flow of funds into developing economies like Mexico grew markedly in the early first century, but the investment climate has become more competitive. We have many regions that rely or still rely on their low-wage labor market and quota-free and tax reduction benefits that even this was the main strategy in the past, even nowadays. But this policy, yes, it can be very tempting, but it is not enough. That's why I call this scenario the siren's chant. And this afternoon, I'm going to share with you what we are doing here in Mexico so we just can ensure to create the proper conditions to implant, nourish, and develop an investment. Well, this is the main idea that I'm going to talk about this afternoon. And okay, the second point is that to attract foreign participation, local governments have been developing state-of-the-art strategies to increase the attractiveness of domestic markets across several dimensions. And okay, what is the economic landscape here in Mexico? Yes, we have been living tough times due to COVID-19 pandemic, but we expect a speedy recovery for Mexico. The optimism for investing in Mexico has been described by the Doing Business report. This report, it's a document launched by the World Bank, and it provides objective measures of business regulations and their enforcement across 190 economies, more or less, and selected cities at the subnational and regional level. In this report, Mexico is ranked as one of the best economies in Latin America and the Caribbean on the ease of doing business. And okay, well, as a whole, we think that the readings of the economic landscape of Mexico are promising, but still uncertain. And that is because some dynamics and needs that the country requires a deeper analysis and understanding. Next slide, please. Okay, right now we don't have like a national strategy talking about industrial sector, but there are subnational and regional efforts across the country which are better explained by the concept of clustering. As Ramses said just minutes ago, clustering is the tendency of vertically and horizontally integrated firms and enterprises in related lines of business to concentrate geographically. Clusters act as tools for local and regional economic development and create favorable political, legal, and economic frameworks. So in different parts of Mexico, we have some states that have been working to create these frameworks since 25 years ago, and right now they are the main poles of investment attractions worldwide. we are going to see a map of what are these states located in the country. Additionally, clusters are a good example of proactive industrial policy with shared responsibilities among actors, since the agglomeration of firms and their suppliers can confer competitive advantage to the enterprises involved. Well, we are at this slide. We can see our knowledge-based economy model. This is for intelligence and development and growth. And the first step, or the first thing that we review on this kind of analysis is the strengthening and increasing of regional capitals. To attract foreign direct investments, we need to ensure that the region has human capital, research and development capital, that we can found it in the research centers, university, and other academic institution, financial capital, infrastructure capital, and social capital. There is the collaboration between different social actors. The second point is the long-term planning and competitiveness strategy. This region just developed some local laws that are a key factor to protect this strategy in the long term, independently of the government that is in function at the moment. So this long-term planning allows us to have political viability, financial viability, sociocultural viability, and environmental viability. The last two aspects are very important in a knowledge-based economy model. Right now that global warming is taking an important place in the world agenda. And okay, the third point is developing local economic chain into cluster. Cluster initiatives are realized through the networking and collaborative efforts of a specialized cluster organization. And the support of this quadruple helix is key, since it refers to combined efforts of university, industry, government, and social actor relationships. And if successfully organized and implemented, cluster initiatives led to the emergence of strong competitive businesses and markets. Next slide, please. Okay, mapping the different state of regional cluster in Mexico is a necessary exercise for any future investor, because more than understanding the national landscape and establishing a relationship accordingly, may be more strategic to identify what are the opportunities, where are they located, and what is the way forward. Right now, we are just we just put 4 examples of some states, and it's more relevant clusters. For example, right now we have in some regions a very developed cluster in the logistic field, IT, automotive, real estate, tourism, financial services, aerospace, medical equipment production, chemical products, and heavy machinery. And there are another clusters, and the most important thing is that there are very developed institutions just working hard since many years ago just to create new business opportunities. Okay, right now I just want to talk about what have we been doing in the last 15 years. When investors are looking to start operations in Mexico, one of the things to decide is how and where to allocate their money. We have developed, as we saw, an intelligence model that not only generates in-depth knowledge about a certain economic sector or cluster, but also several factors that secure a soft landing for the investments. And the main actions that we do every time that an investor is interested in just bringing the money to our country is, first of all, identify how the needs of foreign investors and local businessmen intersect. Then we define infrastructure requirements like technology parks, specialized research and development programs, and industrial parks. Then we promote collaborative initiatives between governments, the private sector, the academy, and the society. And the most important, we help to identify business opportunities to evolve the current stage of the clusters into a more complete and functional structure. I want to mention a project, a significant project that we took part in here in Mexico, and the name was Project Irion, Regional Intelligence to Identify Innovative and High Value-Added Business Opportunities. And the participants of this initiative were the Ministry of Economy, a worldwide financial institution, and one of the best ranked universities in Latin America. And this project was about develop 120 high-impact business opportunities, cluster-related, with monetary funds granted and with the support of a specialized legal framework to make them work. It is important to highlight that at the local level, we have developed a strong culture of nourishing and directing your money to the best places where it can grow sustainably, bringing value to all participants. And okay, why, if some of you are interested on investing in Mexico, what would be the roadmap in case one of you were interested? The step number one, identify your interest and business experience and review those regional clusters best related to them. Step number two, prepare a technical report of those selected states or regions. Review relevant policy frameworks, institutional quality, and market conditions. Step number three, determine what investment projects best suit for the local and international market strategies aimed by the cluster. For example, when a cluster is at the initial stage, the business opportunities relies on or go around commodities, intermediate products, and business support services. On the other hand, business opportunities when the cluster is more developed are related to infrastructure, related industries, and new technologies. Generally, these opportunities involve innovation and high added value components. Step number four, connect investor with the cluster. This is an exploration stage where an opportunity for collaboration arises. And here we prepare a business plan or a roadmap for the best business strategy option. And the final step is we develop an action plan for the soft landing of the investment, legal framework, and other requirements. Finally, just to summarize all this information, clusters today are highly developed in Mexico, and without a doubt, it is the best way to ensure that your investments flourish in a country that is strategic for different markets and industries. I hope that this information will be helpful. And yes, there are many regions competing for investment, but it is important to just review what are the framework that the states or the region provides, so you can be more confident about your investments. Thank you.
mountain, there are beaches, there are forests,
Okay.
jungles maybe even.
Okay, sure.
And also because it's good because some regions are shown here, but it's hard to see
Mhm.
what it's about. But it's not the most developed part is the closest to US.
Yes. Well, Daniel, if you will allow me, I will just explain here with the map because I can show here in the people directly in the screen. So, okay, the geographical side of Mexico, as already Victor explained, we have in the north, USA, and we share one of the biggest borders in the world. And the natural frontier with this, we have the river. There is a Bravo River. So here we have the states of Tamaulipas, Nuevo León, Coahuila, Chihuahua, Sonora, and Baja California. So with this, we have most of the transit to the US are with these states and are developed states, as already mentioned, Victor. The growing side of this side of Mexico is the manufacture and automotive IT, as explained here in this frame. And in the south, we have Belize and Guatemala here in this side. And well, as we just maybe explained a little bit before, most part of the clusters are in this side of the north, in the center, and in the coast of Mexico. So we have in the east side, Gulf of Mexico. Well, my state is here, Veracruz, where I'm born. And in this side, we have the Pacific Ocean. So we have a very strategic location with our main partner in the north. That we have the logistics of going to Europe in the east, in the west to Asia, or also we have a lot of transit going to China, Japan, and also to South America. We can both use both gulfs. And about the mountain system, we from the north, since from Canada, just going to the south, we have the Cordillera, the mountain system. That's why it's very seismic, Mexico, because the movement of the tectonic plaques are very active. So if you will go to Mexico, it could happen that you can feel the floor is moving. Yes, and here in the south is a very more tropical place. It's a warm place almost all the year. It was almost warm. And the most maybe similar that we have to St. Petersburg as a rainy, a little bit chilly. I mean, in the autumn, not the winter, of course. It could be this side, in the east side, in the mountain side. For example, in Chiapas, they have a huge mountains, Veracruz, Puebla also. So basically, we have around 120 ethnics, if I'm not confused, in all Mexico. So Spanish is the main language, but we have many ethnic groups in Mexico, and most of them are in the south. So it's a correlation about ethnic groups and the development of the states. And also we can talk about the way that Mexico City is like the federal. It is the main state that it has the executive power in Mexico City, the legislative and the judicial power. So the political place is Mexico City, and everything is in this city. And well, there's a lot of more to explain, but I hope I can maybe explain a little bit what you were looking for, Victor. Mm-hmm.
How do you these clusters? Is it natural places where the business is developing, or they make it like it's not well developed? Let's put the cluster there. So to develop, what is the approach?
I believe Daniel can give a good insights with this because he has. Yes, I believe he, or maybe I can just give some comments. Or Daniel, did you listen the question?
No. Can you repeat it for me, please?
So how was the growing of the clusters in Mexico? It was a natural growth, or it was maybe some works that reveal where was the best place to create these clusters? That was the question, right, Victor? Yes.
Okay. It was both ways. In some regions, we have the natural concentration of businesses and enterprises. And then when this group of businessmen just identify this orientation or business orientation of the region, just start to develop the cluster into a more formal structure. But for example, the case of the north states of the country, because of the free trade agreement with United States and Canada signed in 1994, they just look the opportunity to just try to institutionalize the collaboration of the businessmen in the region. So in the northern states of the country, the clusterization process was planned. It wasn't natural. And just to remark something very important, these are just 4 examples of states that have cluster initiatives, but right now we just analyze each one of the 32 states in Mexico and identify where the main economic sectors in one of each. For example, in the east part of the country, tourism is very developed, and we have some clusters and cluster initiatives there, and we have another economic activities. But right now, I just want to highlight those economic sectors that are very knowledge-based oriented.
Хорошо. Я при счете на русском, наверное, да? Да. Я хотела только добавить, да, в завершение к тому, что сегодня нам рассказал Даниэль Рамзес, что, да, конечно, Россия и Мексика – это страна с большими возможностями для бизнеса. И из моего личного опыта хотела рассказать, что я это увидела и прожила, да, в Мексике. Иностранных граждан в Мексике, также и иностранные компании, они приветствуются, их принимают намного с большей теплом и любовью, чем даже те же самые мексиканские компании. Непонятно, с чем это связано на самом деле, вот, но это факт, да, больше возможностей для бизнеса и какого-то роста персонального, персонального, поэтому в общем, это то, что я видела, да. Если сравнивать, например, компании, да, или просто вот россиян, да, и людей из Соединенных Штатов Америки, конечно же, в Мексике с большим теплом встречают россиян, да, то есть это тоже такой большой плюс. Вот. Также после Советского Союза в Мексике осталось такое мнение, что все, что произведено в России, да, все, что произведено российскими инженерами и нашими учеными, это какая-то продукция, да, высокого, наивысшего качества, они доверяют, они не сомневаются, да, то есть если, может быть, какие-то европейские страны, они как-то, может быть, не всегда хорошо принимают продукцию России, то в Мексике это заведомо хорошее качество. И, конечно, лучше, конечно, когда компании наши подтверждают, да, это качество какими-то сертификатами, да, исследованиями, как говорится, доверяй, но проверяй. Да. Пример хотела рассказать, вот наша вакцина. Да, вакцина, когда ее только зарегистрировали, действительно было очень много вопросов о том, что много было людей за и против, да, но я общалась с мексиканцами, да, и точно так же с врачами и с обычными людьми, они все были готовы, даже когда еще не было, вот только-только зарегистрировали, да, нашу вакцину, и еще не было какого-то подтверждения, да, сколько этапов, как сказать, проверки, да, прошла вакцина. Вот, они были уже готовы ее применить, они вообще готовы были попробовать и доверяли больше, чем вакцине США, Китая и Европы. То есть, а когда уже Россия предоставила какие-то документы, естественно, уже Мексика закупила эту вакцину, и люди, на самом деле, с большим удовольствием вакцинируются и не думают о каких-то побочных явлениях, да, и даже наоборот, на самом деле ожидают какого-то побочного явления, на третий день, например, заговорить по-русски, и многие, к удивлению, заговорили по-русски, там можно найти достаточно много видео в Ютубе, да, как они замечательно говорят. Вот, ну так, если... Да, вот. Ну, что еще могу рассказать? Даниэль с Рамзесом не упоминали, да, о валюте. Как вы все знаете, в Мексике мексиканский песо, если его сравнивать, ну, вообще, если ведутся какие-то международные сделки, да, то, естественно, это все ведется в долларах. Если мы сравниваем доллар к песо, то это примерно 21 доллар, 21 песо, точнее, 1 доллар, да, а если мы сравним с рублем, то это 4 примерно, чуть меньше рубля к 1 песо. То есть, в общем-то, мексиканским компаниям намного выгоднее работать с Россией. Вот. Ну, а если мы говорим вообще серьезно, ну, как бы более глубже, да, то на самом деле самая лучшая монета, да, самая лучшая монета для бизнеса с Мексикой – это такое доверие и хорошие отношения. Мы когда много лет назад, ну уже сколько лет, 5, наверное, прошло, как мы переехали в Россию, мы познакомились с нашими теперь уже друзьями из Team, и с ними, конечно, с вами мы хоть и в огонь, хоть в воду. То же самое, на самом деле, и в Мексике, так что если кто-то желает в огонь или воду в Мексике, то, конечно, нужно, чтобы вас сопровождал друг, гид, который проведет вас по 32 штатам Мексики, потому что, как уже говорил Рамзес, там действительно очень много национальностей, не везде говорят, ну, испанский язык – это общий язык, вот, но есть места, где по-испански вообще не говорят, например, да, и у каждого штата свое видение, как вести бизнес, как вести переговоры и так далее, поэтому, конечно, лучше, чтобы у вас был надежный друг, вот. Ну, большое вам спасибо, если у вас будут вопросы. Да.
А по темпераменту мексиканцы ближе к испанцам, итальянцам, немцам?
Ну, наверное, все-таки вот люди из стран Латинской Америки, они отличаются от европейских. Если говорить о Мексике, наверное, они все-таки более работоспособны, чем испанцы, потому что в последнее время я сталкиваюсь, работая с Испанией и Италией, да, и это очень тяжело. Да, тяжело с ними бывает, да, очень. А в Мексике все-таки, вот насколько я это прожила, да, это ну, какие-то более ответственные люди, что ли, да, они понимают, что если нужно, ну, если они хотят, кто-то хочет, да, чтобы бизнес рос, то есть нужно, чтобы ответ был, ну, такой быстрый, то есть нет такого, да, есть в Мексике, например, слово «аурита». «Аурита» означает, что, ну, вот сейчас, но это может означать сейчас, вот прямо сейчас, через 5 минут сейчас, или через день, или через неделю, даже через месяц. Есть и такой тоже контингент, вот как бы слово, оно существует, оно такое многими любимое, но в принципе, вот насколько я вижу, новые компании, которые действительно стремятся развиваться, они работают быстро, они отвечают в тот же день, как минимум просто написать, сказать, что все, мы получили письмо, мы вот завтра вам дадим ответ, ну или в такой-то день.
Но штаты все равно разные, как у нас. Одно дело в Москве иметь,
да.
другое в Питере,
да,
третье
да.
там в Чечне, а четвертое там уехать в Хабаровск. То есть везде все по-разному. А в Мексике также, да? Да,
конечно, в Мексике также. В Мексике также более, наверное, такое, ну, больше так сказать, движений, да, происходит в Мехико, в ДФ сейчас называется, ну, Сюдад де Мехико, вот, и, наверное, больше все-таки вот на севере, Новый Леон. Все, что к югу, там жарко, они так, да. Аурита. Да. Так, в Мексике нет, не один, по-моему, 3. Son 3 horas del horario, ¿verdad? De México. Да, 3 часовых пояса. Да. Я выучила его прямо в Мексике, в замечательном штате Веракрус, в университете Веракрузана. В общем-то, я приехала практически с нулевым уровнем испанского языка, знала 35 слов. каким-то чудным образом сдала экзамен, сразу попала на 3-й уровень испанского языка, пришла в класс, очень удивилась. Просто я очень не хотела сдать экзамен плохо и позанималась перед сдачей экзамена, и оказалось, что я его сдала не так уж и плохо. Но когда я пришла в класс, поняла, что все говорят, а я нет, я попросила перевести меня, ну, хотя бы на уровень ниже. Вот, ну, это было интересно. Да, но очень помогло, что в том городе, это был город Халапа, вот здесь, да, не было русских абсолютно, то есть я жила там, мы жили там 3 года, и за эти все 3 года я не общалась по-русски вообще ни с кем, и это на самом деле очень помогло мне выучить испанский язык, буквально вот, наверное, за пару месяцев я начала разговаривать. Вот, то есть, да. Ну, я не могу сказать, что очень академический, но, конечно, когда просто говорить и понимать практически все можно очень быстро, но с ошибками. Там есть разные моменты, но это уже как бы все-таки языковые моменты, да, то они приходят просто, мне кажется, с опытом. Вот. Можно путешествовать, да, в Мексике говорят больше на английском языке, чем в Испании, например, да, и они больше любят говорить на английском, чем в Испании, ну, во Франции, тем более, там совсем не любят говорить, вот, поэтому да, но, опять же, есть вот туристические районы, да, там, где говорят люди на английском, есть очень туристические районы, такие как Канкун, там был 1 год вот до... По-моему, в 2013-м как раз российский туризм, он занял 1-е место в Мексике, да, и прямо вот эти вот люди, которые, да, мы опередили американцев, но это было как раз вот до кризиса, получается, и построили специально отели для русских, там все было направлено именно на русскоязычных туристов, и вот даже люди, которые продают на улице всякие сувениры, они тоже выучили все слова издалека, они научились определять русских за версту, да, издалека уже говорили, подходи, пожалуйста, покупай. Вот, я даже как-то встретила в Чеченице 1 раз человека, который знал прям вот полстиха про муху-цокотуху, я очень удивилась. Да, и спросил у меня, а твой любимый певец Филипп Киркоров? Это было тоже очень необычно. Да, очень глубокие знания.
Слушай,
Да.
а самолет, он там дорого стоит, да, получается, что чартеры должны туда как-то очень были стоить.
В тот год они стоили достаточно, ну так, недорого. Был прямой рейс в Канкун, насколько я знаю, но потом его отменили. Сейчас я не знаю, есть ли он, честно говоря, нужно проверить. Ну, его не было много лет. Да. Сейчас в связи с ковидом Мексика никогда не закрывалась, она всегда была открыта, можно ее посетить легко и просто, виза не нужна, делаете электронное разрешение. Да, главное долететь, вот, или доплыть. Да, Мексика всегда открыта.
The beach, they like to go to maybe Cancun, Puerto Vallarta. Yes, here in Jalisco, there is Puerto Vallarta. Yes, Acapulco is here in this side. So Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta here, and Huatulco in Oaxaca is also a very beautiful place, not so touristic. They have like very beaches clean and the water is blue and perfect, beautiful. And archaeological sites close there. And well, also Los Cabos here in this side, Los Cabos. It's more about European, American, Canadian tourism. So playing golf there, just going to have maybe some marlin, this sport for fishing. Marlin is there, very famous. And Veracruz in this side is more about traditional place for where to go to eat, to relax, to have some coffee, to eat good. We like to eat a lot in Veracruz, and well, just going to USA, spend vacations in USA. It's not hard to get the visa. Just apply there, then they are as usual. Yeah, like going to Finland, exactly. And in South America, it's really also a good option because we have good relations and we just share the same language. We are very similar in the culture, in the food. So yes, Europe is also, it depends about the budget of the person. Yeah, yeah, depends on the budget.
Parlando della missione commerciale, però quanto costa il comida, por ejemplo, comparando con Moscú, San Petersburgo?
Yes, okay, I will answer, and Daniel, I would like also if you can also give your opinion here. So how much it cost going to Mexico? Just recently, we just see that Aeroflot is opening a new connection directly Moscow-Cancun. So we were expecting that maybe the tickets will be more affordable. That there are charters already, but food is really a good thing just to take with you. Some Pepto-Bismol, because there is a lot of spices in the food. So don't be too much aggressive. Try the food, it's very tasty, but be careful because if you don't like very spicy or very spicy, similarly, yes. So there are a lot of options, a lot of international cuisine, a lot of tacos and real tacos that maybe some places,
But very delicious ones.
yes, so it's not expensive food, it's not expensive accommodation. Also there are a lot of options. Meanwhile you are going for having a business trip, you can do maybe sports, you can also go to some places to relax, to enjoy the architecture, to enjoy the culture of the Spanish legacy that we have. And also we share different traditions with other countries from Europe and South America. So I believe if you have been already in some business trips to Europe or Asia, is the most specific issue is to find the tickets and the logistics of how and what you want to do during this business trip. So yes, many options can be done. And Daniel, would you like maybe to add something over there?
Okay, well, you are right about what you said. Mexico has turned into a very attracting destination. And one interesting trend that we are watching right now is that we are getting a lot of entrepreneurial migration right now, that with this work from home facilities and this working from distance, many people from the US and from Europe are just coming to Mexico, to these beautiful and touristic sites that you mentioned, and there you have all the facilities to run your business at the same time that you are just chilling and relax, playing golf and enjoying the beautiful beaches of the country. So you can have both worlds, the business world and also the leisure one. So we have the infrastructure to welcome you, and the most important thing is that right now the new generations of Mexicans are bilingual and are very technology oriented. So you want to run a technology business or high added value business, you will find the human capital here in Mexico.
Thank you.
Спасибо.
Спасибо большое. Oh, thank you so much, Daniel. Есть у вас еще какие-то вопросы?
Let's talk about some stereotypes and myths about Mexico, like guys from USA sometimes think that the whole Russia is occupied by Russian mafia, who's riding the bears and playing balalaikas. And also we also see some movies, also Hollywood movies, and we see like there is a lot of drug cartels in Mexico, a lot of cocaine goes across the border, also the guys with the guns. How it is really in real time, in real life, and really safe there.
Yes, well, I will start with the first one, stereotypes from Russians, because I had stereotypes before. Yes, of course, we received all of these from Hollywood, stereotypes, right? So watching the movies, Rocky Balboa just fighting with this guy from the Soviet Union, and always the bad guys in the mafia are Russians, and it's about the way that the Western side is exporting this image of what is supposed to be a Russian. So for me, it was really good to meet Tatiana, and to meet also some friends, Russian friends, and to understand that a good way to break the ice is to just be yourself with the person, and then the Russian will open. And when a Russian opens and gives the friendship, it's a good way, because they will invite you home. They will be really good guests, and also tell you about maybe something that you will ask good advices. So as any people in the world, there are stereotypes. And Russian, not only mafia. Russian is only vodka. It's not only just watching these bears videos in the social media. And there's a lot more to know more of Russia. A lot of beautiful country to visit. Many places of historical places. There's a lot of history that some countries don't have history, and Russia has a lot of history. And I believe that generations should be proud of this. Of whom, of where are you coming, where are you belonging. So understanding this side, history, and understanding what people thinks is a good way to break the ice. And about Mexico, yes, of course, there is a narco guys. There are this crime in Mexico that, as any other countries in Latin America, like Colombia, we are suffering from drug trafficking. But as well, there is these efforts from the states and from the federal government to diminish these acts. So sometimes there is the need to use force, of course. Sometimes there are other ways to secure the places. But again, numbers, as we can maybe recall the beginning of the presentation, numbers are saying that Mexico is becoming a country better for investment, with more transparency, with more open for use of digitalization. As Daniel explained, many people is going there, working home, and enjoy the place. And as well here in Russia, numbers says the same. Maybe there's a lot of similarities between some issues about corruption and other ways, but numbers are saying that there is a little bit of efforts that it makes better. And yes, of course, I can see this tequila just in the desk. And as well as you will go to Mexico and bring some vodka, people will love to know how Russians drink vodka, how Mexicans drink tequila. So it's a good way. It's a good way to, yeah.
There's another question about what was or is the most difficult for Russian in Mexico and for Mexican in Russia to do or to feel or to understand something.
So I will begin. Я начну. Ну, в первую очередь, наверное, после того, как я переехала в Мексику, первое время самое сложное, наверное, это был язык. И это не было так, что только вот язык именно для того, чтобы сходить в магазин или куда-то что-то сделать для себя лично, да, но так как в Мексике очень все дружелюбные, ну, вот настолько все дружелюбные, да, и особенно семья, и всегда семья ищет повод встретиться, и вот когда ты попадаешь в эту семью, и ты иностранец, и на тебя все внимание, и тебе все хотят все рассказать, и, конечно же, это все на испанском, вот тогда очень тяжело, и ты чувствуешь ну, именно вот нехватку этого языка, да, это первое. У меня не было, просто меня очень часто спрашивают, были ли проблемы с едой, да, то есть я очень люблю острое, поэтому така стала, наверное, моим первым и любимым блюдом, вот, и так как я готовлю русскую пищу, поэтому мне не было проблем. Что еще? Ну, может быть, вот в части безопасности, да, вот когда я приехала, и когда я еще не говорила по-русски, по-испански точнее, да, ну, я не могла, наверное, как-то сильно передвигаться. В маленьких городах это все-таки, ну, сложнее, наверное, да, и может быть, в каких-то моментах не совсем достаточно коммуникации, да, то есть это вот если у нас транспортная система, она хорошо развита, то в маленьких городах, там, в Мексике, может быть, не всегда, вот, и я не привыкла, конкретно я не привыкла, когда на меня очень много внимания обращают, вот, а на иностранцев в Мексике внимание обращают, вот, наверное, это было, наверное, единственное, что мне было, ну, в первую очередь, как бы сложно принять, потому что, когда я выходила на улицу, мне всегда или там говорили: «Эй, девушка беленькая, иди сюда». То есть я в Мексике не совсем как бы брюнетка, да, я считалась светленькая. Они используют для этого слово «гуэра». Да, «гуэра», что тебе дадим, подходи, посмотри, так. То есть я не очень люблю столько внимания, вот, а в Мексике его прям очень много. Это, наверное, вот все, что я первое, что могу вспомнить. Может быть, Рамзес расскажешь, да, наоборот, que tú cuentas ahorita lo que sentiste aquí en Rusia, ¿qué extrañas o qué sentiste dificultad cuando llegaste?
Yes, well, food is really hard, yes, because there's many Tex-Mex food, because the way that it's supposed to be Mexican food here is more in the way that is in the US side, so it's maybe not a real Mexican food. Weather is the second one. I like winter, but winter with minus 25, minus 30 degrees sensation is wow. So also distance with friends and family. My family, of course, Tatiana is here with me, but friends and family in Mexico, distance is not just having 1 hour, 2 hours flight. There's like 18 hours flight going to Mexico. So I believe these are three main issues, but many people, I believe, that came here in the World Cup in Russia, I believe it was very good, because coming here to Russia and living the experience in Russia is completely different. I can tell you many stuff, but coming here and living the experience here is completely different. It will open you the eyes, and just yourself living here, coming here, will tell you everything. That is completely different of, again, the TVs, movies. Yeah.
Another probably it would be like blitz. The 3 places or things the one must see in Mexico.
Must see.
Okay, so must see, first of all, is maybe arriving both, even Cancun or Mexico City. You have just close to you Chichen Itza. If you arrive to Cancun, you have just 1 hour from there. You can go to this archaeological place, Chichen Itza, that is really from UNESCO. That is a historical, it's protected by UNESCO, and it's beautiful there. So you can experience the nature, the history, and the weather, everything there. Second place, and maybe the same, maybe first place, is Teotihuacan. So Teotihuacan is also the historical place, just really close to Mexico City, that it was the center, the political center of the power of the Aztecs, and Teotihuacan, if I can say, it was the neurologic point of the power in Mesoamerica. 500 years ago, it was power there. So the third place that maybe going to Mexico is going to Bajío. to the center of Mexico. That way you can enjoy architecture, you can enjoy different places, just walking and watching the history of Mexico. It's like coming to St. Petersburg. When you are walking in the cities, you can feel the history, just walking in the Nevsky Prospect. You can just watch everything there, and it's history everywhere. In Bajío, you can also watch all of this. The mix of the Spanish, of pre-Columbine cultures, and it's mixed there. Everything is mixed. So for me, those are the 3 points. And I should say that Daniel, just in a few minutes, he will need to go to one meeting. So I believe he will just...
Спасибо большое. Мы экспериментируем. Это у нас первый такой интернациональный опыт. Я, кстати, подумал, что действительно нам нужно проводить такие Team Talks с партнерами, с клиентами, да, чтобы увидеть, услышать, поближе узнать. Ну и, конечно, в Мексику захотелось 1000 раз больше. Вот когда название городов читаешь, так аж волноваться начинаешь, прям аж тянет туда. Так что, ребята, я надеюсь, что в следующий раз мы такое мероприятие проведем в Мексике. А почему нет, да?
Конечно.
Все, спасибо большое.
Спасибо.